Jahmyr Gibbs wasn't supposed to be here. Not in the NFL, not on national television. And yet, here he is, Gibbs on the sweep to the edge, first down and more, tiptoeing out of bounds at the 14-yard line. His speed and agility tell a story deeper than the scoreboard, a story of survival, resilience, and determination. Born in Dalton, Georgia, Jahmyr's life was anything but stable. Raised by his grandmother, Angela Willis, he faced a childhood filled with uncertainty. Nights spent in shelters, meals reliant on charity, and the constant question of where he would sleep next could have derailed him. But football became his anchor, the one constant in a world of chaos. "My cousins would sometimes do stuff, and I wanted to go with them," Jahmyr recalls. "But they'd say, 'No, we know what you can be, what you can become. Stay over here.'" At Dalton High, he was quiet, reserved, almost invisible off the field. But coaches noticed the kid who always showed up early, never complained, and worked harder than anyone else. Every sprint, every drill, every practice wasn't just training, it was survival. Football wasn't just a game, it was Jahmyr's compass, guiding him through instability toward a future that no one expected he'd have. Before his breakout, Jahmyr found refuge with the Tyke family, including Dalton High's quarterback, J.P. Tyke. During the 2017 season, Jahmyr bonded with the family in preseason workouts. As the season approached, he began spending nights at their home. After a few evenings, JP's parents asked if he wanted to stay permanently. It wasn't a long-term solution, but it was a lifeline, a place to breathe and focus. After the season ended and JP graduated, Jahmyr again faced the haunting question of his childhood: where do I go now? That's when he crossed paths with Greg and Dusty Ross, the volunteers who had once helped his grandmother. In a moment of full-circle redemption, 15-year-old Jahmyr was officially adopted by the Ross family. For the first time, he had a permanent home, a bed, and a family. Football remained his escape. At Dalton High, Gibbs' quiet dedication stood out. Coaches noticed a kid who rarely spoke, never complained, and consistently showed up before anyone else. It was here that Jahmyr's work ethic and focus began to carve a path towards something bigger, a foundation of resilience built on trust, discipline, and the knowledge that someone finally had his back.
Jahmyr's breakthrough came in a high-profile matchup against Harrison High, led by the nation's top recruit, quarterback Justin Fields. Running for 182 yards and 2 touchdowns in a 28-26 nail-biter, Gibbs put Dalton High on the national map. "They may have the best player in the country, but we've got the best family. No pressure, just play what we know," said a coach, emphasizing the team's mindset. Even though Dalton lost, Jahmyr's performance captured the attention of recruiters. Offers poured in from powerhouse programs like Ohio State, LSU, Florida, and Alabama, 28 schools in total. His senior season was historic. Over 2,500 rushing yards, 40 touchdowns, and multiple school records. Ranked among the top 10 all-purpose running backs in the country, he chose Georgia Tech, a rare path for a 4-star recruit. "I know this isn't the normal thing, but I felt it was right for me," Jahmyr explained, reflecting on his choice. At Dalton, he had found stability. At Georgia Tech, he sought growth. Football was no longer just survival. It was a stage to prove that perseverance, discipline, and heart could rewrite a story that once seemed predetermined by circumstance. Georgia Tech in 2020 wasn't a powerhouse. The team struggled, losses piled up, but Jahmyr Gibbs shined. When plays broke down, he found daylight. When blockers failed, he created opportunities out of thin air. "Gibbs gets the run, he's in touchdown," commentators would call, capturing the magic that defined him. Over 2 seasons, he led the team in rushing, receiving, and total yards. But brilliance alone couldn't hide the losses. Faced with a choice, Jahmyr transferred to Alabama. Surrounded by 5-star athletes and suffocating expectations, every practice felt like a tryout. Every mistake was magnified. Yet the adversity didn't shake him. Jahmyr had already faced far worse: instability, uncertainty, and doubt. A bad practice, a tough coach, I'd already seen worse, he reflected. At Alabama, he became a versatile weapon, putting up over 300 all-purpose yards and becoming Bryce Young's most trusted offensive weapon. Not just a runner, not just a receiver, Jahmyr was a home run threat every time he touched the ball. Football wasn't just his escape anymore, it was his mastery, a stage where resilience met talent and fear met confidence.
In 2023,
the Detroit Lions select Jahmyr Gibbs, running back, Alabama.
Analysts were skeptical. Running backs rarely go that high. Fans debated, critics shook their heads, but Jahmyr had been underestimated his entire life. Every obstacle, every doubt, every no he had ever heard fueled him for this moment. Detroit, a city rebuilt from ashes, mirrored Jahmyr's own journey. Both had been overlooked, both had faced skepticism, and both had the chance to rise. The Lions weren't just drafting a player, they were drafting a story of resilience and triumph. His rookie season began cautiously, but it didn't take long for Jahmyr to ignite. Breaking tackles, catching passes, accelerating past defenders, he became the spark the Lions desperately needed. Commentators called his plays with excitement. Gibbs on the sweep to the edge, first down and more, tiptoeing out of bounds at the 14-yard line. By mid-season, he averaged over 5 yards per carry, became a versatile weapon in the passing game, and brought energy to a franchise craving hope. Yet it wasn't just his talent that captivated fans. It was his poise. Humility and focus defined him. The kid who had once wondered where he would sleep was now dazzling tens of thousands of fans in stadiums filled with cheering supporters. Every touchdown, every highlight, every electrifying run was a testament to his journey. From shelters to stadiums, from doubt to stardom, Jahmyr Gibbs had arrived. And while critics questioned his draft slot, his performance on the field silenced any doubts. He wasn't just playing football. He was living a story of triumph that had been years in the making. Even as an NFL star, Jahmyr Gibbs hasn't forgotten his roots. Dalton, Georgia is more than a hometown. It's the place that shaped him, tested him, and ultimately gave him the drive to succeed. Today, he mentors over 200 students through Family Frameworks, an organization that guides young people toward education, athletics, and personal growth. He films videos for students, donates resources, and speaks directly to young athletes, reminding them that greatness isn't reserved for the privileged, it's earned through dedication, perseverance, and resilience. Jahmyr's approach is hands-on. He teaches kids not just football skills, but life lessons. How to focus amid chaos, how to push through doubt, how to make choices that shape your future. Every interaction reflects the same philosophy that guided him through hardship. Community matters. Home isn't just a roof. It's the people who lift you, support you, and give you hope when the world feels against you. Through mentorship, Jahmyr turns the support he once received into opportunities for the next generation. His impact isn't measured in yards or touchdowns, but in the lives he touches, the confidence he inspires, and the dreams he nurtures. Football may have made him a star, but giving back makes him a hero. From a boy running away from instability to a man running toward purpose, Jahmyr Gibbs demonstrates that resilience, compassion, and dedication can transform not just a life, but an entire community. Every yard he gains on the field mirrors the distance he helps others travel off it. His story is a blueprint for triumph over adversity.
Jahmyr Gibbs' journey shows us that greatness isn't about where you start, but how far you're willing to go. From Dalton's shelters to Detroit's brightest lights, he outran fear, doubt, and every obstacle in his path. Now every touchdown and every kid he inspires is proof of a legacy still being written. So remember, when Jahmyr runs, it's not just for yards, it's for everyone who's still chasing their own breakthrough.